We live in a world obsessed with travel. Instagram feeds overflow with photos of exotic locations. Travel bloggers tell stories of life-changing journeys. But for many Black travelers, the dream of exploring the world collides with racism. It's about facing prejudice and discrimination based on skin color. This essay aims to spark conversation and raise awareness. Travel should be about connection and understanding. Let's start with a sobering statistic. In India, 62% of Black travelers report facing racist comments. Imagine landing in a country known for its vibrant culture only to be met with hostility because of your skin color. It's a jarring disconnect that many Black travelers experience firsthand. From the bustling streets of Mumbai to the historical sites of Delhi, racism in India often manifests as casual colorism, a deeply rooted issue with ties to colonialism. Lighter skin is often associated with higher social standing, leading to prejudice against darker-skinned individuals, both local and foreign. But it's not just India. Head east to South Korea, and you'll find that 55% of Black travelers report experiencing discrimination. Imagine being turned away from a taxi or constantly stared at because of your race. These microaggressions, often fueled by a lack of diversity and exposure, contribute to a feeling of being unwelcome and ostracized. Across the Sea of Japan, 45% of Black travelers in Japan report similar experiences of social exclusion. While Japan is often praised for its politeness and order, the lack of diversity and deep-rooted cultural norms can create an environment where Black travelers feel like perpetual outsiders. To understand the challenges faced by Black travelers, we need to confront the heavy weight of history. Take Russia, for example. The country has seen a surge in racist attacks in recent years, fueled by far-right nationalist groups and a lack of accountability for hate crimes. In Ukraine, ranked as one of the least racially tolerant countries in Europe, Black travelers often face open hostility and discrimination. These attitudes are often rooted in a lack of diversity and exposure, as well as historical tensions. And then there's the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, a country built on oil wealth and religious conservatism, has a dark underbelly of exploitation and racism, particularly towards migrant workers from African nations. These workers, often lured by the promise of a better life, find themselves trapped in a system rife with abuse and discrimination. It's a stark reminder that racism isn't confined to one continent or culture. It's a global issue with deep historical roots that continue to impact the lives of millions. So, where do we go from here? The answer, like the problem itself, is complex. It requires a collective effort to dismantle systemic racism and promote understanding across cultures. Education is key. By learning about the historical and social contexts that contribute to racism, we can start to dismantle the prejudices that fuel discrimination. Open and honest conversations about race are crucial, even when they're uncomfortable. Travel companies and tourism boards also have a responsibility to address these issues. This means providing resources and support for Black travelers, promoting diversity in their marketing, and working with local communities to combat racism. But perhaps the most important step is the simplest: listening to Black voices and believing their experiences. When someone shares a story of discrimination, it's not an attack. It's an opportunity to learn, to empathize, and to work towards a better future. Travel at its best has the power to break down barriers and foster cross-cultural understanding. But for that to happen, we need to acknowledge the challenges faced by Black travelers and work together to create a world where everyone feels safe, respected, and free to explore.